Hi, welcome to the next tutorial on Flutter Junction. In this video, we are going to discuss and practice the concept of Dart. First of all, what is Dart? Dart is the programming language that is developed by Google, and it is very popular these days due to the Flutter framework. Uh, with the Flutter framework, we can develop mobile applications for both Android and iOS. And not only that, we can also create the web applications and also desktop applications for all Linux, iOS, and Windows. And if you are new to that, don't worry, we are going to discuss all the concepts of Dart in this tutorial, and by the end of this video you shall get all the concept of Dart. So don't forget to stick to this video. And before learning that, if you haven't subscribed the channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon so that you can get updated on awesome tutorials on upcoming days, right? And to continue with that, we need to have that installed on our computer, and to install that on our computer we have to visit that.dev. This URL, you can find this link on this description below. Please find it. And when after getting into this URL, then click on get that, and we can also install the Dart SDK with Chocolatey, but we are not going to install with it. We are going to download the SDK. You can see here downloading the SDK as a zip file. We click on it and we shall get the different channels of Dart SDK. You can also try with beta and dev channel, but I prefer to use stable channel because it is the stable channel version of the Dart. And click on the link downloads here as per your Windows or your OS, and when clicking you will have the file downloaded here. You will see it's downloading, zip file is downloading. And before until it gets download, let's visit. We can also compile our Dart on online also with the dartpad.dev. Here we can compile our Dart code easily, and we can see here when we click on run here, we shall have the output on this console. It may take some time, and we have this output hello junction, and we change it to, let's say, Flutter, and then click on run again. We shall have our output on this console, right? We have hello Flutter here. And let's go to our downloads channel. Downloads, I think we have it downloaded, right? And after downloading, you will have this zip file here, and the extract this Dart SDK to the program files here into the C and program files. And I have already installed Dart on my computer. And click on your Dart SDK and click on bin of your find the bin of your Dart SDK, and click and copy this URL up to bin, your C, then your program files, and then Dart SDK, and then bin, and copy this. And because we need to set the environment variable, and type search here and click on environment variables, and here we find environment variables, and on path double click it, and you create new and paste your URL to the bin of your Dart SDK. I already have my Dart SDK here, so I don't need this. And after pasting, and click on OK, and then OK, and let's close this. And after that, and on command prompt, when you type Dart dash dash version, and we shall have that version here shown, and we have this Dart version showing. And if your environment variable is not set correctly, and you won't be having this Dart version, and you will have the Dart command is not found, so you need to be aware when setting the environment variable. Hope you have already installed that on your computer. Now let's close this and close this, and let's go to our panel. I have this folder created already, and I click on this folder, and then on this search and see, I type cmd, and we have this already our path given on command, and then when code dot, and this will open the VS Code. And after opening the VS Code, you need to install the extension of Dart, and you can see, click on here extension, and so you can search Dart, and you will find the Dart here, and click on it and install. I already have installed it. You need to install and restart your VS Code. Right, now let's move to our topic. Download this Visual Studio Code. Just visit the link, type download VS Code, and click on this link, and as for your OS, download and install the VS Code. And assuming you have your VS Code installed, let's move to our topic, and we are going to learn the Dart. And first we are going to run our first application, and I will name it one hello. Let's say, why to say only word, let's say Flutter function dot Dart, and our first function will be main, and without main our application won't be run. Whenever our this application will run, and it will get the first run the main method, so we need to get the main methods included. Right now we print hello Flutter function, and then we close it, and then let's copy this file name, and then here Dart, and I will paste, and dot Dart and the file name hello Flutter function dot, and then dot, and enter, and we shall have hello Flutter junction. And congratulations, you have just run your very first project on Dart. And continue, we shall discuss more on about Dart, and our next topic would be data types. And what are data types? Data types are the classification that specifies which type of value a variable holds. That means what type of data is being held by a variable. Let's create the new file again. Let's say data types dot. I copy this, click on enter, void main. And data types can be of many types, and some of them are string, name equals, let's say my name Naveen Dakal, and whenever we print the name, and we have our name here, and then to run again dot my project, and then enter, and I have here Naveen Dakal in my terminal. Let's clear it first. And this string data type holds the string value, that means, and it can be defined on either double quote or single quote. You can use either way. And also other data type, and if you want to store the integer value, then we have the other data type named int, and let's say age equals, let's say age is 24, and it says my age is 24. And similarly my other data type would be double, and double is used to hold the floating value, that means decimal values. And let's say double salary equals dot 1 2 3, and you can see here double, it should be double, right? And you can see here we can include the values having decimal point, but it integer we cannot store the decimal value, and it gives the error saying the value of type double can be assigned to the variable type of int. That means it is the age is integer data type, so we cannot store the decimal value here. Let's delete this again, And then similarly we can also have the other data type named date time. Let's say date of birth equals date time, date time, and then close. And then here we can see int year, month, day. We can include these items. Let's say our year would be 1998, comma, and our month, let's say 09, and then our day would be 01. Similarly we can get the date time of current time. Let's say current time equals date time dot now, and this dot now gives the current date and time. Similarly we can also store list. So list stores the elements in ordered manner so that we can get the element on efficient manner. And let's say let's string equals programming language equals, and it starts with big bracket. Let's say Flutter dot, actually Flutter is the framework, but I include here, and then Java and React. Right, now let's print all these our variables variables onto our terminal, and bracket, and my name is dollar, open curly bracket, and dollar name dot and backslash n, and this creates the new line. And then the age is dollar age. You can either use curly bracket, or you can directly get the value with dollar and variable name. And then and again new line, the salary is 1111 dot, sorry, salary is dollar salary, and then again new line, and then the date of the dob is dollar dob, and again new line, and we can code in dollar programming languages, and you can see here. And then we run our project file, and we can see here my name is Navin Dakal, and the age is 24, as you can see here, and the salary is this, and the date of birth is, we have this year given and with the time. And similarly, and you can code in the we have the list of Flutter, Dart, Java and React. And now we can also get the year from dob. I can give the curly bracket and then dot, and with dot year, and we shall have this 1998. In this the dob is 1998. You can, so let's run it again, and we can see here 1998. So you can type you can practice your on your own of other data types, and the most used data types are these. And on Dart, hope you have already understood these data types in Dart, and if you have any queries, please ping me and comment. Now moving back to other section, now we shall be learning the other data type list.dart a bit more. And let's say void main, and then let's copy this our list. And before moving into the list.dart, let me clarify that we can also use var name also, and var instead of string we can also use var. The var means variable, and you don't have to define any other this data type or double or date time. Similarly you can use var age also, it's okay to use, but I prefer using the data type. Let's convert to int. Right, now this was for var also. Now let's move to our next topic, list.dart. List, our data type. And list, in list we can do various activities on list. And let's say we can also get the languages 0. That means we are going to get the 0 index of this string, list of string. And when you run, let's clear it first, clear, and then dot with list dot start. You can see here the index 0 of this programming languages list is Flutter. Similarly, if you change to 1, we shall have that printed in our console terminal. You can see that is here. And now similarly we can also add the let's remove this. We can add the new items to the list, and we can do that by our variable name dot add, and let's say Kotlin Utlin, right. Now when we run our project again, we can see here we only have defined Flutter, Dart, Java and React on our list, but we have this output Kotlin is added to our list. And similarly we can remove the value from the list also, and I will okay, comment it, and then programming languages dot remove, and we can also remove, let's remove Flutter from the list, and then run it again. You can see here Flutter is removed from the list. You can see here Dart, Java and React. We only have Dart, Java and React on printed on our terminal. And also we can get the length of our list, and when we run this again we will get 3. You can see here it is 4, but we have removed the Flutter from the list, so we are getting the length 3. And if we remove comment this code, and we shall get the length 4. You can see here 4, right. Similarly we can sort these our programming languages in order also, and to do that we have the sort method, and when you run this again we shall have our programming languages on we have this length printed here. Let's remove this length and then run it again. First let's clear, and then you can see here we have Dart at the first, Flutter at the second, Java and then React. If you let's put React first and then run again, we can see Dart, Flutter, Java and React. The result would be same, and our programming languages are sorted on ascending order. That means D, F, J and R, and it comes on ascending order, alphabetical order. Also we can also print the index of, let's print the index of Dart, and let's comment this first. And when you want to get the index of certain element of the list, then we can use the index of method, and here we would get the Dart, then R would be 1, right. The index is 1. And when you want to get the index of Java, let's say it's getting -1, right. We have this J is small and it didn't find the element on the list, so we are getting the -1. Okay, I have already corrected this Java, and then I am going to run it again. right? And we are getting the index 3, that means 0 1 2 3, right? And you can also again get play with other methods. You can see here add, all, any, cast, clear, contents. And with clear, all our let's comment this and let's make this a bit small. And with clear, we can remove all these elements from the list. As you can see here, our programming languages array is empty. You can see here it's empty because we have cleared these items from this list. Right, now we shall discuss the next topic, that is map. Let's map to the next topic, and I will create the new file with Control N and Control S. Let's save it first, and then for map dot right. And map, let's close this first. Right, now what is map? Map is the data type that stores the values in key and value pair. Key and value, that means it stores the value on key according to the key. Let's explore it more. And map, let's say books equals, and we can see list array was defined with big bracket, and map is defined with curly bracket. We need to be aware on that. Let's say books, let's say C book, and it cost areas, let's say 1000, and we have the other book of dark, and it cost 5000. And print book, print our map first, clear all console, and then dot for map dot. You can see here C 1000 dot 5000. We have the map on our terminal, and if you want to get the value of C, then it should be big bracket, right? And to get the value of key C, this is the key and this is the value. You need to keep in mind the first would be key and other would be value, and we need to get the value of the key C, and we defined book of big bracket and on quote C, and then when you run again, we shall get 1000 printed on our terminal. We get 1000, and to get that, similarly we can type here dot, right, 5000. We shall discuss more about map on upcoming topic. So let's move to the new topic, and our next task would be, we shall be creating a simple calculator, and I would give 5 CALC. I am giving this naming 1 2 3 for numeric value, so that I could store. I would push this value on git 5 calc dot, right. Okay, now void main, and then let's say array equals 10, there be equals 5, and then var sum equals a plus b, and var difference, only say difference, equals a minus b, and multiplication equals a into b, and then division equals a divided by b, and then we have the mode value, that means it gives the remainder, and it is denoted by a modulus, that is percentage b. And let's print this arithmetic calculations here, and print, let's say sum is dollar sum, and then new line, and then difference diff difference is, and dollar difference, and sorry, and multiplication, let's say, and multiplication is dollar mul, and let's close this first, and then 9 backslash n, new line, and then division is dollar div, and then new line, and then remainder is dollar mod. Let's run our application, clear it, and then dot 5 dot dart. You can see here sum is 10 plus 5 is 15, and 10 minus 5 is 5, and 10 into 5 is 50, and 10 into 10 divided by 5 is 2, and the remainder is 0. That means where modulus the remainder is 0, and when we let's change it to 6 and then run it again, we can see the remainder is 4. That means 6 1 is 6, and the remainder is 4, right? And similarly here we can also have the const value to store the constant value. Similarly, as like integer, we can also define a as int. Similarly, we can define our variable with const to store the constant value, like pi. As you all know pi, and it has the value constant 3.14, and let's print this. Alright, and const pi, and when you want to set the variable pi into 2.0, we cannot do it, because as you can see constant variable can be assigned to the value, and if we change this to var, we can change this to 2.0 also, and if we define it at const, we cannot define the new value to the pi variable. So const is used to define the variable that are going to store the constant value. For here we can say pi, and let's say we calculate the area of circle, and let's say radius, our radius would be and 12, and then where area equals, and we have the formula pi r square radius into radius r square, and let's print area of the circle is dollar area. Here we can see the area of circle is 452.15.99997. Similarly, we can restrict this decimal value from this area, and for that we can do dot 2, and just close with curly bracket here, sorry, curly bracket, and dot 2 string is fixed, and if you want to get this fraction digits of 2 value, then we shall give the value 2. As you can see here, we have only 2 values after the decimal point, and we can 1 6, and if we want to have decimal value of 3, and we shall get the 3 values from the decimal value, right? And here we have successfully created a simple arithmetic calculator, and also we have got the concept of const, and got the area of the circle. Now we shall be discussing on next topic, the conditions, and I will create the new file as 6 conditions dot dot. Let's copy this. Right, now void main. So what are conditions? The conditions are used whenever we need to perform certain tasks depending upon the circumstances. That means it gives the value either a true or false. Let's dive into the example and we shall learn with example. Now let's say int age equals 12. Now if age is greater than 12, less than 12, less than or equals to, also this is less than or equals to 12, this sign means that, and then we will print age is, you are a child, and else print you are adult. As you can see here, if our age is less than or equals to 12, we are going to get the print value. We are again going to get the value on our terminal, you are child. If the age is greater than 12, then we are going to get this result, you are an adult. Let's run this. First rid of the junk here, and then dot 6 conditions dot dot. We can see here you are a child because our age is 12, and when we increase it to 13, we shall get the you are an adult, you are adult, because our condition, the first condition, age is less than or equals to 12 was false. So our condition, our code moved to the else and printed this you are an adult. Similarly, we can get the nested if else, and for that let's copy this, comment this and paste it here. And similarly we have other conditions also, if else, if that means we can uh, check other conditions also. That means if our age is less than or equals to, we are going to print you are a child. Then if our age is less than or equals to 19, that means when our age is less than or equals to 19, then you are teen. Then else if our age is let's say greater than 20, greater than 19, and then or our age is less than or equals to, let's say 50, let's say, then let's print you are young. And if our age is greater than 50, then we are going to print you are old. Let's run it again. We have the age 13 here. You can see here you are a teen because our age is less than or equals to 19. That means it is not less than or equals to 12, so we got you are a teen. Then if our age is, let's say, 10, and we are getting the you are the child because our age is less than or equals to 12, less than 12. And similarly if we change it to 25, let's say, and then print run again, and you are the young, it became you are young. We are getting you are young because, run it again, it was spelling mistake. Okay, because our age 25 is greater than 19 and it is less than 50, so we got this result, and this indicates the or sign. And let's say this indicates the or sign. That means one of the value can be true, then it would be true, and this indicates, this double end indicates the end sign, and it means both the values should be true to get the condition true, right? And when we again change this to 60, and we are getting you are old, you are young. So it is mistake because our age is 60 greater than 19. Let's change into end here, because it is going to this condition, because our age is greater than 19, 60 is greater than 19, so we are going this, getting this result, so we change this condition to end. Let's run it again, and you are old. As you can see, we got this you are young when we have this or signature or sign, and this is logical error. You need to be aware when using these operands, right? And we have this you are old here, and similarly we have the other condition switch also. Hope you have already understood this if else and if else if. Now we are going to other condition, that is switch. I will create the new file and save it, and 7 switch dot tar is the name. You can see switch, it has on or off. You can see the switch like we used to turn, we use to, in our daily life, that to turn on the switch, to turn on our fan or electric bulb or and things. Right, now let's move into our topic, switch void main, and then right now let's say the example in age equals 2, and we switch the age, and if case is 1, if age is 1, sorry, we are going to print age is 1, and then we break, return our condition, and then case 2, if our age is 2, then we are going to print age is 2. Again we break after this gets completed. Similarly we can get the default value also, and print whenever our case doesn't get, let's say, invalid age. Right, now let's run our project. Let's clear it first, and then dot 7 switch dot dot. You can see here our age is 2, so we are getting this result, age is 2, and when we change this to 1, we are getting the age is 1, age is 1. Similarly when you change to 3, we are getting invalid age, because it does not match our case. Here we can see invalid age, it's because it did not match our case, the age is neither 1 neither 2, so we are getting this invalid age value. Okay, you can practice on your own on this switch on details, and if you have any queries regarding this switch or any other topics we have discussed earlier, you can ping me and comment. And with that, let's move to our new topic, loop. And again let's create the new file, save it, and add loop dot dart. Right, void main. So what basically is loop? That means if we want to perform some certain tasks in repeated manner, we are going to use loop. You can see in your mobiles or mobile or YouTube also, you can see the loop option on your playlist, and when you click that loop, then your all the songs on the playlist get repeated again and again. So that is the common concept of loop. Now let's use it on the project or a demo. And there are basically 4 type of loops. control slash, okay, we are getting control slash this and there. Okay, first is for loop, and second is while loop, and third is do while loop, do while loop for each loop. Right, now we are going to learn for loop first. And for int I equals 0, it has the three values. I am going to explain later. And I is less than, let's say, 10, and I plus I equals 0. This is the starting point of the loop. That means our loop is going to start from 0, and the second thing would be condition. That means our I is less than 10. That means our loop is going to stop whenever I would be greater than 10, and then I plus plus. That means we are incrementing our index I, and then let's print I, and then clear first, and then run dot it loop dot, and we can see here 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. We can see our loop start from 0 and then ends on 9, but we have here 10 values. Similarly, we can also start with 1 also, and we get 1 to 9. Here we get 9 to 1 to 9. Similarly, we can perform it on opposite manner. That means we can also decrement the index. For that, let's say I equals 10 and I is greater than or equals to 0, and then I minus, and then we print I. Here we are going to get the value from 9 to okay, let's run it again. 9 8 okay, it's being a bit. I create the new terminal again. Right, now dot 8 loop dot. We can see here we got the value from 10 to 0, because less than or equals to 0. If we remove the equals to, then our 0 would be excluded. Here we can see 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Only 1 are up to 1 are shown. Right, now let's discuss our second loop, while loop, and I am going to create the new file for it. Control N and then Control S, 9 while loop dot void main, and we are going to discuss the while loop. While condition I is less than 10, let's give our variable I equals 0. When while I less than 10, print I. Run it again. Clear first, and then dot our project name and enter. You can see here 0 is printed and it is going on infinite loop. It's because we haven't given the incrementation value, because whenever the while is getting always 0 and 0 is always less than 10, so our loop is printing 0 and it has gone on infinite loop. For that, let's increment the I and Control C, and our loop get stop. Control C, okay, and clear it first, and then run it again. You can see here 0 to 9. Similarly, we can also decrease it like in the for loop before we tried, and it should be decremented I minus minus, and it should behave opposite of this. It should be okay. It should be less greater than 1. Right. You can see here 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, and we don't have 1 because 1 is not greater than 1, so it stopped on 2. And if we say here 0, and we shall get value up to 1. Right, we are getting 1 here. And this was for while, and let's learn our third loop, do while loop, and create the new file. Control S, and then 10 do while loop dot start void main. Right, now do in I equals 0, do our task print I while I is less than 10, and increment I. Clear it again, and then start 10 to while loop dot start. We can see 0 to 9 is printed, and you need to keep one thing in mind while using do while, because this loop is always run one time to check the condition. First it gets printed and then the condition is checked. Let's say for that, let's give it 1000 to integer and run it again. Here we see the I is printed, but we can see here I is not less than 10. The condition is false, but also our loop is executing once. So you need to be aware while using do while, because do while loop will execute once and then check the condition. Right, please be aware while using do while loop. Right, now our fourth loop would be for each loop, and create the new file. Sorry, Control S, 11 for each dot start, and I will copy this. Right, now void main, our main function, and then let's say var languages equals let's say Nepali, Hindi, English, and let's add Urdu, and we can use for each loop. You can type for, and you can see here for in, and click on enter, and then our, let's say, language in this list. You can see for our this language, this is the variable, and it's because languages, so I kept it language. If it was items, I would place it item. It's the naming convention, doesn't matter. And this is the languages variable. If we keep this anything, and we shall get error, so it should be the list. For language in languages, we print, let's print languages are let's say dollar language, here you can see this language, and let's clear it first, and then dot our project file name, 11 for each dot. You can see here languages are Nepali, Hindi, English and Urdu. Now let's again sort these languages. Languages dot sort. This sort method we have already discussed earlier, and right now again we print, run it again. Then we can see here our sorted, and English come first, and Hindi, and then Nepali, and then Urdu, right? And we have discussed all four loops: for loop, while loop, do while loop and for each. And if you have any questions regarding this loop, please ping me and comment. I would address all of your queries, right? And hoping you have already understood all these loops. Now let's move to our new topic, that would be function. And let's create the new file, Control N, and then save 12 function dot tar. Right now, basically what is function? It is a simply slice of code which can be used over and over again rather than writing it multiple times. That means we can use this function again and again on our code, and it helps the code to become smaller. That means the code will be small in size, and then the redundancy of code also, right? And it our function are of four types. We are going to discuss four types of functions. Let's say control and our sign, and then this, and then asterisk sign, right? Our first function would be no return types and no parameters. Let's say params, and then having return types and no parameters, and 3 dot, and then with return type, have return type and both parameters also, params, and then no return type but have params, right? Before diving into these types of functions, let's create the function. Let's say void my daily functions. That means the tasks I am going to perform every day. First, let's print getting up. First I get up, and then print, and then I get fresh, and then let's say I meditate, and then I list all of my tasks. List of tasks, let's say I list all of my tasks, and print, and other tasks also, etc. And this function don't get invoked whenever we call it on main function. And when you run this method, let's clear it first. This our file, and dot 12 function dot start. Right, we don't have any output here because we haven't called our function from our main. Until and unless we don't call the function, it won't get run. And when we invoke our function here, let's say, and run it again, yeah, we are getting the output. And if we until and unless we don't call the function, we won't be getting the result. So while using the function, we need to call from the place where we want that function. And let's create the other function again. Let's say void learn more my task list, and let's say print learn advanced dot and then print, let's say be a pro, let's say, and then whenever we print again, this method won't get invoked. So to use the function, it should be called, and when we call, make it small, and this learn more method function here, learn more, and we will have this output into our console. You can see here first. Okay, let's clear them first and then run it again. Right, we got is our my daily function method is called first, so we are getting these values of my daily functions, and then our learn more function is uh, called, and then we are getting this values from learn more. Right, now let's dive into our these type of functions, and let's create the new file and save it. I would say 13 advanced function dot dart, and copy this and then void main and clear this and run this. Right, clear. Now let's copy this type of functions here. First is no return type and no params. Let's say first function. Okay, let's remove this, we don't need this, and for that no return types and no param, that means void. That means void means we don't have any return types. Let's say add and then print, let's say var a equals 10, var b equals 2, and then print okay, and var sum equals a plus b, and print sum is dollar sum, and then we call this add method, add function here, and let's run this. Sorry, you can see here the sum is 12. Here you can see it doesn't have any return type nor parameters. We haven't any parameters in this function. Okay, now let's get to another method. This is no return type and no params, and our second function return types but no parameters. Okay, let's say int okay difference, yeah, and return sum. Let's say difference, sorry, diff. Okay, let's say var sum. Let's copy this variables here, and then int equals okay a minus b. We have this return type integer, and print right here. Let's go here and let's comment this method. Doesn't matter, we don't need to comment this method because our function is not called from main, and say let's say int difference equals diff, here print diff. We are going to get the difference would be 8. Run it again. Int is not from function static. Right, here we are getting the okay. This should be diffr. Run it again. Yes, we have got the 8 here. You can see here we have this return type of integer, but we don't have parameters on this method, and this is our new this is our second type of function, return types with no parameters. And now return types and parameters. Okay, let's copy this and then paste this. Return type, let's return okay, let's return integer, doesn't matter, it's a multiplication. And we have parameters, say a comma b, and then first let's return 0. Right now we have the arguments a and b. Let's create the integer multiply equals a into b, and then we return multiply from here, and then okay, comment this, and then int multi equals small. Here we pass 10 and 2. As you can see here, we have passed the argument from here, 10 and 2. These are the parameters, and you can see here we have returned the return type. We have the return type of integer, and when we haven't, okay, let's print multiplication is multi. Right, now clear and run it again. You can see here the multiplication is 20. So what's going on here is, it first this method, it calls the multiplication function with the variable. It passed the two parameters 10 and 2 to this function, and this function here we have calculated the multiplication from here, a into b, and then we have returned the result from this function, integer result from this function, and with that we have this multi is getting the value from this function, and we have finally printed our multiplication value. Right, now let's discuss our fourth type of function, no return type and with parameter. Let's say let's put it here first. Right, now let's return different type of data type. Okay, string my channel, and then return Flutter junction. You can see here we have this return type of string, but we don't have any parameters passed here. So this is our fourth type of function. Let's call this from here, and then print, okay, what was the name, my channel. Okay, my channel is static, it was the function. Let's okay, now string my name, my a, and then the channel name equals my channel, and then we print this here. Right, we have here my channel is called from here, and it has written the string flutter junction, and we have printed the flutter junction successfully. So we have discussed the all type of functions that are with return types and no parameters, return types and with parameters, return types and both with return type and parameters, and with no return types and what with parameters. And this much for function. Hope you have understood these functions. Right now we are going to move more on this tutorial video, that is our OOP concept. But before moving into our OOP concept, let's learn much more about map. We are going to uh, perform some tasks with map loop in map dot tar. We are going to perform loop in map. We have already discussed map in uh, earlier topic. Right now, let's say our courses equals, okay, Java cost rs 1000, and then dart cost 2000, and let's say react cost 1500. And we can also perform loop in maps, and for that we can share courses dot for each. That means in map we have key and value pair. We have already discussed map, key and value. That means the key is Java and value is 1000, and you can also rename it to K and V also, doesn't matter as per your need. And let's print, close it first, and then K cost $V, it should be $K. Right, now run it again, and we can see Java cost rs 1000. We have the key and value pair separately from the map. Right, now let's move to our new topic, OOP in Dart. Dart is also an object oriented language, and it supports all the concept of OOP. That means it consists of concept of class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, and interfaces also. Right, now let's create the new topic, new file, and save 15 OOP dart dart. And before that, close others. Right, let's close out and clean it. As we have already discussed earlier, OOP concept consists of class, objects, inheritance, polymorphism. Let's create the class first. Class, let's say add. It is our class. So what basically is class? It is the group of objects that share common properties and behavior. That means this add class consists of same property. That means we add this add the items in this class. And in class we can also include four things, and that are properties, constructor, getter, setter, functions, and methods. Right, now let's declare the properties first. Properties, that would be int a and null safety, and int b. You can also declare var c also, doesn't matter. And instead of int a and b, you can use this var also. And let's create the constructor here. Constructor add this dot a comma this dot b, and then we create the function void add and print sum, or we can directly say here a plus b, and this means a and b can't be null, and this is this use of this question mark is the use of nullable value. Right, now let's create our void main, and then we create the instance of our object class 8, and then we pass value 2 and 1. Let's pass it, and then we 8 dot invoke the method from our main function. That means we create the object, and then we create and then we invoke our add function from the main, and then let's run it again. Okay, dot op dot, and we got the sum is 3. Okay, it's getting a bit confusing. Let's create new terminal again. Right, now okay, we are getting the sum is 3. The sum of 2 and 1 is 3. If we change this to 6, and we are getting 7 here. Right, we are getting 7 here. Now in this class we have declared the properties constructor, and we have created the function also. Now let's talk about getter and setter in Dart. I will create new file and save it. 16 getter setter dot and close it first, and then let's create the class. Okay, let's say animal, and var id, var name, and var number of legs, let's say, and then var as tail, that means the animal has tail or not, and then our constructor animal. We have already created the constructor on previous topic. We can let's say this dot id, this dot name, this dot number of legs, this dot has tail, and then let's create the function animal details, print name of animal is $name, and then it has number legs, and it has, let's say, has tail, and dollar has tail. We have created the properties constructor and then the function. Right, now let's void main, and then create the object animal. Let's say dog equals animal, and id let's say 1, and name is, let's say, Harry, and dog has 4 legs. It has tail, yes, it has leg, it has tail. Similarly, animal, let's say tiger, not tiger. What would be animal? Let's say human. Human are also social animal, you know that. Equals animal id 2. Let's say name is Jack, and it has 2 legs and has tail, false. And now dog dot animal details, and then dot our project name, and then run. And you can see here the name of animal is Harry. Name of animal is Harry. We have passed the Harry here. Dog dot animal details, and it has 4 legs, and has tail is true. And similarly, when you print human dot animal details, we shall get the name of animal is Jack, and it has 2 legs, has tail is false. Right now, we are going to set the default value. If the name is empty, if the name is empty, we are going to set the default value here. Right now, let's Control Shift or Shift down, or Shift down, and let's duplicate it first, and then has 12, and then bracket, and this dot. We can do this, and we can remove this and give the var id, and let's say var name, var legs, number of legs, and then var has tail, and then this dot id equals id. That means this id equals this id. Similarly, this dot name equals name. This dot no legs equals number of legs, and then this dot as tail equals as tail. We can follow the either method, and it works the same. When you run this again, we have the same result. No change in this result. Now here, if name is empty, we are going to give the default value. For that, let's remove this first. Right now, if name is empty, then this dot name equals, let's say, no name. It is condition, so it should be double equal. If name is not empty, then this dot name equals the name. Right now, okay, let's comment this and then remove the name. Let's leave the name empty of the dog, and then we run it again. You can see here name of animal is no name. That means our name is empty here, and then we have got the name no name. Similarly, you can also follow this method on other parameters also. Now let's get and set value in our main file. Right now, let's create the method void. First we set the name, set name, it would be variable, and then return the name, and then string, let's say var get name, and then we return, no, we don't return, this dot name equals name. We don't need this, and we don't have to return the name. Oh, okay, we need to return the name from get here, and then we set the name from here. Now let's get down to our main function, and then doc dot set name equals, let's say, uh, Laika. You know Laika, it is the first dog that was sent to the moon. And we can see here we have given the name empty of the dog, but we have set the name here Laika, and we are getting the result name of animal is Laika. And this getter setter have advantage in the sense that we can set the any parameter from the any place rather than creating new constructor. Like we can say here, we can only say dog dot, and then similarly we can also set the dog dot set name, and then we can also say Jack, right? And we can change the parameter of name to the Jack easily, and we don't have to create new object. See here, you can see here the name of animal is Jack, and it has 4 legs, and it has head 2. And similarly we can also change all these parameters of this in the legs also, tail also, and you can practice it well, right? Today we have discussed the concept of dart in this video, and if you have any queries regarding this video, please ping me and comment. I will try to address all of your queries soon. And if you want me to recommend some videos and want to learn more, then you can also mail me at flutterjunction@gmail.com, and you can get all of this code on GitHub in the description below. Please find it. And if you like this video, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get notified on upcoming videos. And also don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends. See you on the next video.